So last night this video popped up in my feed and it caught my attention. It was called Being Ugly, My Experience. Now here's a few clips from the video.
My entire life I've been treated quite bad. I feel really alone, and I felt like I was gonna search YouTube for people with the same issue as me, and that is being really unattractive. Right now I'm putting up quite of a show, so if you think that I look pretty good right now, it's because I'm doing my absolute best to show you that I look good. I've never in my entire life had anyone telling me I look good.
He goes on later to talk about how women wouldn't date him because they said that he was ugly, and he believes that he is ugly. Now, honestly, this video kind of broke my heart a little bit because I hate seeing someone feel this way. And also, I know what it's like to feel rejected and feel like you could never be truly loved and accepted for what or who you are. I felt that way a lot growing up, and even for a lot of my adult years. I actually think that everyone, even attractive people, have times where these insecurities flare up and they might feel ugly or unattractive. Everyone feels insecure about some things at times, and so I think that on some small level, at least on some small level, a lot of people can probably relate to how this kid feels. While I watched this video, I couldn't help but think about how a Christian who might have a similar experience to him might think about this. And I don't mean in some unrealistic cliche way either. I can't stand Christian videos that sound like they were recorded in Pleasantville. The whole idea where some Christians think that they have to walk around and look like they're just ecstatic 24/7, that doesn't really compute with me. To me, that can come across as obnoxious at best and phony and inauthentic at worst. Even Jesus wasn't walking around acting like Ned Flanders. Jesus had real relatable emotions. So from a Christian perspective, how can we think about this if we do feel ugly? First off, I want you to picture Jesus. Picture the physical image of Jesus that you have in your mind. Now, how do you picture him? Clear, blemish-free skin, nicely trimmed beard, soft eyes, and long smooth hair that looks like it's been washed with Pantene Pro V's latest conditioners and pressed with a hot iron, maybe even a six-pack? Is that how you picture Jesus? Like he could walk off the cover of a woman's romance novel? If so, I think that's how most people picture Jesus, and that's because Hollywood portrays Jesus that way. But that's not how the Bible portrays him. The Bible actually portrays him as the opposite. Jesus was not physically attractive and would have been called ugly by today's social standards. In the famous prophecy about Jesus, in Isaiah 53 verse 2 and 3, we read, "He had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him, nothing in his appearance that we should desire him. He was despised and rejected by mankind, a man of suffering and familiar with pain, like one from whom people hid their faces. He was despised, and we held him in low esteem." Now, there's a lot of other passages that talk about how people rejected Jesus based off of his appearance and his culture, but don't miss the relevant point here. Here we have the person at the heart of the Christian faith, God taking on flesh and coming into our world, the greatest man to ever live. And by human and social standards, he was physically ugly. This in itself should show you if there's anyone that could relate to not being attractive, being abused, being despised, it was Christ himself. As Christians, we have an advantage here. We can get our value and our worth based off of what God says about us, not what others say about us. We know that God loves us more than we could ever comprehend. He loves us enough to die for us, and he never leave us or forsake us. He loves us with unselfish, untarnished, selfless, perfect love. So all in all, if we feel ugly, unattractive, persecuted, rejected, and despised, as Christians, we know that God came down to earth to experience all of those things to a much greater degree than us, so that we can know that we're beautiful, loved, desired, accepted, cherished, and eternally welcomed. So next time you think that you're in some way less of a person because you don't feel like you're physically attractive, what are you gonna say? What do you mean?